Now, we're going to bring on Caleb. We met Caleb last year at Level Up in Kingscliff. A wonderful young man. He's fit, he's enthusiastic, he's very intelligent, and incredibly helpful. In fact, he helped us navigate through our filming of it. So, Caleb, do you want to just come on and share your story with us, please, mate?
Thank you. And I just want to extend a big thank you to the other two guys who have shared their stories because it's such an encouragement to hear that the impact it has not just on their lives, but the lives of those around them and the courage they have in sharing. So I'm going to share a bit of my medical history going back 2 years. So going back into 2024 in January, I had severe burnout and pretty much liver, blood, and what was the other one? Gut failure, I think it was in total. And they said, look, putting it nicely, you've got 3 months left. We can't give you any medicine that'll help. Go home, rest up, say your goodbyes, and that's it. And I looked at them, I was exhausted, I had a burnout, everything was going wrong. The family was moving house. I was just like, I've had enough of this. I'm not taking the doctor's word for it. So did some ring around, found a naturopath, and they said, okay, let's run some tests. They actually sent me back in to do my bloods. My white cell count was 1.2. The average is 4.5. And if it's fighting an infection or anything, it should be up near 8. It shows that the immune system had completely failed. So there was some severe brain fog, couldn't think clearly, was sleeping every sort of couple of hours, couldn't even walk 500 meters without sleeping for 4 hours afterwards. And the naturopath said, okay, at this point I didn't know about the patches. They said, look, we've got some stuff for your gut, but everything else you're just going to have to let your body sort itself out. So that was pretty rough. And I got back on my feet sort of 3 months later and went back into the doctor and told him that he had diagnosed me wrong. And we had a bit of a chuckle about that. I said, I'm not dead yet. We'll come back to that in 6 months' time. And I really should have kept my mouth shut because 6 months later, I was sitting back in that chair and was told once again that I had 3 months left to live, only for a completely new issue. And that was sort of July through to September of 2024. This time it was my lungs. So my lungs were partially failing. They say partially failing because it wasn't a full failure. I couldn't sleep properly at night, so I had my parents coming in at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning just to check that I was still breathing. I was severely exhausted, massive energy drains, pretty much chronic fatigue, and yeah, 3 months left to live. And then right near the end of those 3 months, they said, look, you've got 2 weeks. We can't do anything. You've got 2 weeks. And I didn't ring anyone except Vanessa because I had her number. And I said, look, I don't know what these patches are, but somebody told me to ring you if I ever had any trouble. So she got us the patches within, I don't know how quickly. It was like within the week I was on patches. And 2 weeks after I got on the patches, I went back into the doctor and he goes, we don't know what you're on or what you're doing, but keep doing it because this will keep you alive. And 3 months later, after being on X39 and Aon, so it was X39, Aon, and I think it was Carcinine or glutathione. There was 3 patches I was on every day for 3 months. It was quite a financial investment, but it was worth it. I'm still alive to tell the tale. I stopped patching after that sort of the end of the year because I was like, look, financially, I can't keep coughing up a very large amount because I said to mum and dad, I want to do this. And they said, okay, well, you've got to fund it. So pretty much my monthly paychecks were just rolling into patches for 3 months. And I said, I can't keep doing this. So stopped. And then April this year, finally got back into my long distance running, which is anywhere between 50 and 80 Ks when I go for a run. So It's fairly solid. I then had a bit of a heart scare where I was out running. I've got a smartwatch that's linked up, and my heart rate went up. I think it was over 200, and then dropped down to sleeping heart rate. And the watch was sending all kinds of warnings. My phone was going nuts. I passed out on the side of the road, woke up a few seconds later. Well, what my watch recorded as a few seconds later, and then got up and went, I'm still 8Ks from home, so kept running. That was a really dumb move because by the time I got to the doctor, he goes, when did this happen? So that was the next day I got into the doctor. I'd already rang Vanessa again. I said, hey, look, I need to get on the patches. My heart's playing up. I'm seeing results that's saying that the people on the patches have a average age reversal of the heart by about 8 years. And I went, I could really do with that right now. So I got back on them. I'd gone down to 20-hour work weeks just because my heart was playing up and I wasn't sleeping properly. Once again, extreme exhaustion and chronic fatigue. So really struggled. And then when the patches finally arrived, which was just around Easter, I think it was, after patching for 1 month, so I'm a bit like Chris and Andrea, it took weeks to see the results this time. But after patching for 4 weeks, I went back to work. I was doing 50+ hour work weeks, back to my running, and I finally had the energy to actually do things outside of work as well. And let's just say I haven't looked back from there. It's been pretty crazy, but very, very thankful for the patches and very thankful for the grace of God, I must admit.
Wow. Well, and the fact that you killed Vanessa, and yeah,
Mm,
no, that's fantastic. And so now you know, and I think when you learn to level up, well, it's just if you can, you build a small team of people,
mm,
the company's going to reward you for sending them business, and that covers the cost of your patches. But
yeah,
mate, what a story!
yeah.
I don't quite know how I would handle that, and someone so young and vibrant like yourself, someone says you got 3 months to live twice, and then you've got 2 weeks to live and the patches
Mm,
brought you back to life. And it's just, I mean, and people
mhm,
outside of this go, well, how does a patch do that? Well, the patch doesn't do it. The patch elevates the
yeah,
DHK in your bloodstream, naturally occurring peptide, which then signals to your
mm,
stem cells, wake up, we need you to heal the body because that's what they're there for. And they just go dormant as we age. So, hey, listen, mate, I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Get yourself over to New Zealand. We're going to love seeing you. Give you
yeah.
another big hug, buddy. And yep, we're going to host you around our place when you come over. We'd love to see you when you get to New Zealand.
I've seen some photos. I'll be there. I've seen some photos of the garden. I really want to have a walk in the garden.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Sorry, I should have warned everyone to bring some tissues for Caleb's story.
No, that's great. No, Andrea heard that this morning in the brand partner session and said, no, we've got to have Caleb on. So I'm so glad. And listen, mate, thanks for the courage for sharing that.